A high wire artist, Nik Wallenda, has made the first crossing of the Niagara Falls between the United States and Canada in more than a century. More than 100,000 people gathered to watch him walk along a 5-centimetre thick cable suspended directly over the falls. Zoe Conway reports.
What was most striking about Nik Wallenda when he stepped out onto the wire was his calm. For the next 25 minutes, that composure never left him. At first, he seemed to make his way gingerly, placing the Elskin-soled shoes his mother had made him very carefully down. At this stage of the walk, the cable sloped downwards at an angle of 5 degrees. And then there was the mist, so thick, he said, that he couldn't see the wire move, and that meant he couldn't anticipate what he needed to do to stay balanced. It turns out that unlike ordinary people, Wallenda copes with heights by looking down. All along the walk, his father talked to him through an earpiece. The tension came when he entered the so-called wet zone, the part of the cable that was drenched by water coming off the Horseshoe Fall. It was at this point, about 2/3 of the way across, when Wallenda talked of how drained he was and how his hands felt numb. But at no point did he wobble. As he crossed into Canada, the tens of thousands of people waiting for him began to cheer. At the end, he gave up on walking and skipped to the finish.
The aerialist crossed a tightrope over Niagara Falls. Now, he had to brave the steam, the wind, the wet, walking about 500 meters. He started at the U.S. side and then made it over to the Canada side. You see him there just reaching the end. Pretty happy guy. He is a descendant of the Flying Wallenda family, and he is the first person to cross the falls up high like that. And he wants to try to cross the Grand Canyon next.